In the 1820s, fear stalked the streets and narrow closes of Edinburgh's old town. In the darkness of the night, it was the killing time. People vanished. Edinburgh's medical school was world famous, and Dr. Robert Knox, the charismatic anatomist, boasted, "In all Europe, only Edinburgh dissects real bodies, not using mere models." The trouble was, there was a scarcity of corpses, dead bodies. The only legitimate source was the bodies of hanged criminals. In an average year, there might be 72 hangings, scarcely enough to supply 1,000 eager students with bodies to dissect. But where there is a demand, there will frequently be entrepreneurial spirits who will find a supply. It was the year 1829. A woman emerged from the soggy ground and the trees onto the rocky slopes of Arthur Seat. From her coat pocket, she took a little coffin, not more than 4 inches long, and within that coffin, a tiny doll beautifully dressed. She kneeled down and placed the coffin, having moved a rock aside, in a little sepulchre with 16 other little coffins. The last one, a woman. "Dear God," she said, "bless all these dear ones, and may the spirit of Mary Docherty rise complete and whole on the day of judgment." Tears ran down her face. "Forgive William," she said. "Forgive me. I love him. I love him." Helen McDougal was a woman torn apart. The two things she loved most in life were at war, and she came here to seek absolution. She knew that the God she loved and believed in would raise the dead on the last day, and the man she loved was taking the bodies of people he'd killed to the doctors at Surgeons' Hall to be cut up, dissected, mutilated. How could these broken bodies rise on the last day? Maybe God would listen, and maybe he would accept her gift of these perfect little bodies so that the dead could rise complete on the last day. Ghostly wisps of mist clung around the crags. She was dizzy remembering that last ceilidh, the one with Mary Docherty, the old Irish woman. With each body for the doctors, William Burke had become more troubled, tossing, turning in his bed, screaming, wakening in the night, clinging to her. And at the last ceilidh, a frenzy, battering the boran, singing, dancing, drinking, and at the end of the evening, "Helen," he would say, "sing to me. Sing your Irish sweetheart to sleep, would you, darling?" And she'd sung an old Highland fairy lullaby. Hovan, hovan, gurry a go, gurry a go, gurry a go. Hovan, hovan, gurry a go. Never found my baby, oh. And then in the morning, the nightmare, the body under the bed, the arrest, and that weasel Hare and his common-law wife turning king's evidence, meaning they were scot-free. Then the trial on Christmas Day, 1829. And the verdict, guilty. And the sentence, you are to be taken to a place of execution and hanged by the neck, your body to be given over to public dissection. She would never forget William Burke's looking at her across the court and saying, Helen, thank God you're out of the scrape. And on his face, a little smile as if he was glad it was all over. Now she would need one more little coffin for William. Up the close and down the stair, bairnies run frae Burke and Hare. Burke's the butcher, Hare's the thief, and Knox is the man wha buys the beef.